understand spirituality and the supernatural. The supernatural is things that are super of nature but use or go against nature, whereas spirituality is of the spirit. That's the difference between spirituality and the supernatural, but they come in the same group. Now, the video before this, I talk about how pride is one of the 7 sins. Now, to the word of acknowledgement, and those in this community that are of a different belief and have a different view of belief, which they're entitled to as one of the freedoms. But acknowledgement doesn't mean that arrogance and ignorance. Acknowledgement means that you understand, that you respect, and that you know, but you have the freedom to believe what you want, of what you want, as your freedom. But arrogance and ignorance, of which is one of the effects of pride. And to acknowledgement, but the situation of where I live is a smaller version of the situation of Israel and Jerusalem, and the same sort of issues. And we think, and when we do ask for true forgiveness, and how do we get that true forgiveness, and how do we receive it? Australia is a smaller version than Africa. Excuse me, I just had breakfast. So that acknowledgement. Now, the words that I've written on Twitter and the written word is not hard to prove. It's as simple as Googling. But to prove that of the visual, of what I call God showing his love of the heavens, and what people will call miracles, is what people want to visually see, which might bring them to understanding of the written word. But belief comes from the same thing of what pumps your blood, as God's love. It is God's love, God's peace. Now, God's peace is a picture of a dove. Now, a dove is also represented by Aphrodite, which there is 2 of, one of spiritual love and one of physical attraction. So God's peace, God's love, and Jesus Christ says, when leaving a friend's acquaintance, I leave you with my peace. I leave you with God's peace. To the purity of love, to what Horus does as purification of the heart, to those that have been mummified, to understand to where their spirit will go. But as a living man, as a living God, and I'll continue to be of and for eternity,